Hey, pause YouTube. How's it going, everybody? Got for you guys today, finally, another Showdown live and just a video in general because I didn't upload yesterday, which I don't know if you guys may have noticed, but uploads have been a little bit more scarce the past couple days. Just because, for those of you who don't know, by the end of this week is when my second son is due, so I've kind of been on edge with that. Like, I was supposed to stream yesterday and just, I don't know, I think things just kind of got to me yesterday and just I ended up being not in a good mood and just, yeah, if anything, I'll try to stream later today. This should be going up on Tuesday, and I will try to definitely have another PS Live for you guys tomorrow, because I know a lot of you do enjoy the PS Lives. And yeah, if you may have missed my previous uploads, I got my end screen annotations finally fixed up, so once this video ends, the end screen annotation thing will play, and the proper link should be up there instead of just blank annotations, just because I had problems with the centering, so I had to get the person who made it to design it again like 3 different times. And just thank you to Tom for making the proper adjustments, and it should be fixed now. So yeah, you guys are here for a PS Live, though I forget where I got this team. I want to say I got it off of the Smogon forums, but it's a pretty cool team based around Murdurr, which honestly I haven't seen Murdurr at all lately. And then we have 3 attacks Reflect type Haunter, which is actually pretty cool. I'm assuming Reflect type is for something like Shift Tree here, because we can Reflect type and then we'll resist the Sucker Punch or the knockoff and then just go from there. We have good old AV Lantern. We have standard Rocks defensive right on here, although I'm not the biggest fan of Megahorn. I can see why Megahorn would be handy. Swords Dance wouldn't be too bad of an option either. Maybe Roar or Toxic as well. And then finally off, we have Scarfed Mesprit to just kind of be Revenge Killer and support in the form of Healing Wish if need be. So yeah, that's a quick run through of the team, guys. If you do enjoy the PS Live, then you know what to do. With that being said, let's go ahead and get this started. Ooh, this team looks absolutely terrifying. I don't want to face this. I don't want to face this. Okay, let's see. Looking at leads, Xatu could be a bit of an issue, actually. Shift Tree could be slightly annoying as well. I need to get rid of Xatu, then Murdurr should actually be able to just plow through his team. Pyroar could be a bit of a nuisance depending on the set it is, so I'm going to have to watch out for that. I kind of just want to lead Mesprit, though. Yeah, because doesn't matter what he leads. Shift Tree wouldn't be a bad lead either, although if he leads Xatu, that would be slightly annoying. I could see him leading Xatu, is the thing. And the reason I don't want to lead Lantern is because he could switch directly into Gastrodon, and I don't want to hit him Power Ice. I mean, hit him Power Grass turn 1 against whatever he leads off with. I think I'll lead Mesprit here, as he leads Regirock. Okay, so the thought of him leading Regirock did cross my mind, as I'm just going to go straight for the U-turn. We can see if he potentially has Rocky Helmet or not, although I know that's not a common item. The only reason I thought of Rocky Helmet was because Miguel used it against me in our first match, and I'm playing him in the UCL finals. So I was like, oh, maybe he'll have the Rocky Helmet. So I'm going to go ahead and just bring in Rhydon here, as he's actually going to go straight for the T-Wave. Okay. I'm guessing he thought I would just stay in expecting to get a Brox. I should be able to just Rock Blast here, I want to say. Is it worth pulling a double switch, is the question. Why would you stay in here? I really want a Stealth Rock. Like, I really want a Rocks here. Yes! Okay. So we're able to get a Brox. We're able to get a Brox. I really wanted to double switch in the Shift Tree there, because if I double switch in the Shift Tree there, then we're in a scenario where I just click knockoff and whatever comes in potentially gets 2 KO'd. Potentially. Depending on spreads, of course. Regardless though, we get a Brox, which is really nice. He could just safely go for a Scald. He literally loses nothing in doing so. As Murdurr, honestly, Murdurr doesn't mind the burn if he does get the first burn, which of course he gets. That did a lot of damage. Why'd that do so much damage? Is this Specs? That has to be Specs. That did too much damage to not be Specs. So I'm going to pull double here, expecting him to maybe want to bring in the Garbodor. Yeah, because, I don't know, I really don't see him wanting to stay in again. Because I can just consistently Drain Punch and or knock off whatever he wants to do here. So I can double into, what did I bring in? Hold on, I forgot what I clicked here. Oh, Mesprit, I'm dumb. Yeah, I can bring in Mesprit here as he brings in Garbodor. So I should just click Psychic here, like nothing is going to safely switch in. Regirock is still going to be taking a decent chunk from this. Look at that, that's 37% to our Regirock. That's pretty decent if you ask me. Pretty decent. As I'm going to switch back into Rhydon, he's probably just going to get a Brox here, that's fine. That's fine. I'm going to go ahead and click Earthquake. This way we can see if that Gastrodon is Spexed or not, but I'm pretty sure it's Spexed. And it does kind of suck that he got the first burn there, because unfortunately Murdurr may not be doing much in this match anymore. Yeah, because I can't risk switching into Lantern on the Gastrodon, but I should be able to Hidden Power Grass it and potentially knock it out if it's Spexed. Actually, hold on. We are, is this a set? Yeah. We're Modest, right? Yeah, we're Modest max special attack. And we do have the Hidden Power Grass. Let's see. Like I said, I'm pretty sure Gastrodon is Spexed, because that did too much. He should have HP investment. So Hidden Power Grass is still going to be a 2-hit KO, depending on his spread. What's the spread on Murdurr? Hold on. Yeah, see? He did too much damage with Scald, I think. Did he do a lot of damage with Scald? Yeah, because he did 33%. Okay, so maybe he just got a really high damage roll, or he is running special attack investment. Probably. Yeah. We know he is a bit more of an offensive Gastrodon though, because again, he did too much damage to Murdurr, as he's really debating on what to do here. Maybe thinking I'll pull another double switch. That wouldn't be too bad of a play for him to try and do. But if he is Specs, then I don't think he's going to safely switch into this Earthquake coming from Rhydon. As he brings in the Xatu. Oh, could have Rock Blasted there. Could have gone for the Rock Blast. Grass Knot. Does Grass Knot knock us out? I think depending on his spread, he could actually knock us out with the Grass Knot. Judging from that Rock's damage. I'm gonna make a really risky play here. I could have lived. As you can see here, he only had about a 68% chance to knock us out, and of course he got the high roll, which actually does suck. That really sucks. I don't know. I still don't think it was a bad play to stay in. I'm going to Power Grass here, expecting him to just want to bring in the Gastrodon. If he wants to U-turn, that's fine. That's just more Life Orb recoil we get on him. But I really expect him to want to bring in Gastrodon here, thinking that we're either going to go for Scald or go for the Volt Switch. And even if we Toxic, that's fine. I think Shift Tree would be a really aggressive play for him to make here. That kind of sucks. I don't know. He did get a high roll there with the Grass Knot. That's the only way he would have been able to knock us out. So yeah, in comes the Gastrodon. We're going to find out if he has HP investment, as it does actually, by the way it took that hit. So we are going to be able to easily 2-hit KO him here. But do I Volt Switch? This is pretty ballsy on my part. This is really ballsy on my part, but I need to make this play. Murdurr can still live a hit. And Mesprit doesn't appreciate a Sucker Punch regardless. Haunter could Reflect type here, but we don't do anything to Shift Tree in return. So Shift Tree is a bit of an issue to this team. And then if I bring in Murdurr, I guess I could knock off the incoming Xatu, because there's no reason for me to bulk up. And we should be able to live one Sucker Punch from this. I don't know, maybe my Shift Tree isn't a bad... Oh, actually no, I think I'm gonna bring in Shift Tree here. Yeah, because there's a chance that he could just be Adamant, and we are Jolly. Plus, if he wants to risk the Speed Tie, that's perfectly fine with me, as in comes the Garbodor. That did 48%. Good lord, that did so much damage. So, I want to say the next one will actually knock him out. I really want to say the next one will knock him out, but I just want to be sure. Hold on. Is he running... Okay, so this has to be an offensive variant as well, because... Yeah. What? Hello? I ran into a weakness... I ran into a weak armor Garbodor earlier today. So I wouldn't hold him against him if he was weakness armor. So I could have gone for Leaf Storm there. I think actually going for Leaf Storm was the better play. I think I kind of goofed. Yeah, I think I should have gone for Leaf Storm. At the same time though, with Leaf Storm we risk a miss, but not Garbodor, but yeah, Garbodor wouldn't have got the extra Rocky Helmet and Rough Skin. Rocky Helmet and Aftermath damage on us, I guess, in that scenario. We're still not in too bad of a position. If I can get rid of that Xatu, then I'm not going to be as worried about the Shift Tree, just because we do have Girder to kind of take on Shift Tree. And there is still a chance we are faster than his Shift Tree, because we are plus speed nature. And he could just be naughty or lonely. So yeah, if I need to, I could defog, but I really don't think I do need to. As in comes the Pyroar. Do I want to switch? I'm gonna switch, I think. As he does Willow. Okay, so I did expect him to not go for the offensive move. We know that now he is not choiced, which is great. So I could go for another Hidden Power Grass here if I really wanted to. Although Volt Switching wouldn't be bad either, I think. I'm going to Volt Switch here, as he does make the Safe Switch into this. I could Ice Beam if I want to predict the Shift Tree, but he could just sack this off at the same time. So yeah, I could have gone for the Ice Beam there. if I really wanted to. Chipping down the Shift Tree is still going to be good though, as he's going to end up knocking us out here. So I can bring in Girder. And I'm going to go straight for the knockoff. I don't really mind if he stays in. That's a-okay with me. If he wants to bring in the Xatu, that's even better, because we get rid of that thing's item as it comes in. So yeah, I could see him defogging here, just because we lost our Rhydon. But he's going to switch into the Gastronaut as it just drops. And that burn, man, that burn is really, really annoying. Yeah, Xatu is offensive, as we found out earlier. So he could very easily just knock me out here. I think I'm going to bring in Mesprit though. This way I should be able to go straight for the Ice Beam. And even if he wants to bring in Shift Tree, it's going to get knocked out. Ice Beam is still going to be doing a lot of damage, and this should actually just be a straight 2-hit KO. Yeah, that's still a 2-hit KO, I want to say. Is it? I don't know. I think depending on rolls, Ice Beam should still 2-hit KO this. Yeah, so down it goes. Down it goes. Because it would have done about 20%, right? Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe that crit mattered. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. It's fine. In comes the Pyroar. He can still win this. The question is, what do I want to sack off here? Do I even need Haunter? I don't really think I need Haunter, to be honest. Then Shift Tree is just going to get burned. And then we have Rocks up as well. If I bring in Girder, I can force him out. But I need to lock myself into Ice Beam if I want to be able to win. Because I can't lock myself into Psychic because of the Shift Tree. And then I can't lock myself into Ice Beam because of Pyroar. So let me see how much damage Ice Beam is doing to this Pyroar. Because if Ice Beam is doing enough, we can still win with Mesprit. We can still win with Mesprit here. We are timid, unfortunately, I think. Yeah. I normally like Modest over Timid just for the extra power. So after another Stealth Rock switch in and some chip damage, we should be able to knock him out. This is not good. Fire Blast is gonna really hurt here. I guess I could sack off Shiftry as he ends up going for the Fire Blast. And I should be able to just bring in Mesprit here and U-turn maybe is what I'm thinking. Because this way we get off enough damage to where after rocks he should be in range of Ice Beam. And then it just comes down to whether or not we can live a Sucker Punch from Shiftry. So I'm gonna sack off Haunter here as he just Fire Blast, that's fine. And then I can bring in Girder, go for the Mach Punch, or I could predict him to switch in the Xatu, but I'm not in that scenario where I need to do that. I can just safely go for the Mach Punch here and then bring him below where Ice Beam will knock him out. So yeah, I could have knocked off here. It doesn't really matter. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's not that big of a deal, as I should be able to just safely knock off, honestly. Actually, I'm surprised that Drain Punch did 23%. So yeah, if we can maybe live a Sucker Punch, we should be able to win. Because Pyroar is in range of where it gets knocked out. So this is a moment of truth, and we do not live. We do not live. Oh well. Oh well, you can't win them all. So, pretty back and forth game there. Maybe if I hadn't got burned on the first Scald, Girder would have been more useful. But yeah, oh well, it's fine, it's fine. Let's go ahead and get another. Alright, so we got the second battle here, and this dude has a Victory Bell, which I'm absolutely terrified of. Leads, he doesn't have rocks. No, he should have rocks on Pinsir. So maybe he'll lead Pinsir, is what I'm thinking now, actually. No, I think Mesprit is still a pretty decent, safe lead. As he actually ends up leading off with this, I'm just gonna click Psychic. It just died. It just died. So, Victory Bell did literally nothing, as it just drops. So, down goes the Victory Bell. In comes the Samurott, which could go for a Mega Horn, actually. So, I'm gonna switch into my Girder here. If he has these, that's gonna be terrifying, as luckily he doesn't. So, since no Life Orb, he probably has the Lumberry, is what I'm thinking. I could just bulk up here, I think, and just start putting pressure on him. Yeah, I'm gonna bulk up here, because if you look at his team, there's nothing that stops Girder. Oh, I forgot Quagsire. I forgot all about Quagsire. I forgot all about Quagsire. That's my fault. That's my fault. That was a dumb play on my part. I should have doubled. I should have doubled. I completely forgot that I completely forgot that this had Unaware. Completely forgot it had Unaware. I am in a bit of a tough spot now, as whatever I bring in is gonna get burned by Skull, let's be honest. Please don't get burned. So luckily we don't get burned, and I'm Modest Max Special Attack. That does 0. That's supposed to knock you out, hello? You're not staying in here. You're not staying in here. No! What? What? Why would you switch this in? I made the play. I made the play, and no. Okay. Oh, maybe he's not Life Orb. Oh, that does so much. He has Life Orb. That does so much damage. Is that like Hidden Power Ground? That has to be like Hidden Power Ground or something. Okay. So I could bring in Mesprit here is what I'm thinking now. Yeah, that. Oh, what? Okay. I was not expecting overheat. So we're off to a bit of a rough start, actually, after getting rid of that victory bell. This, I did not expect him to switch directly into Manectric. If he predicted me to Volt Switch, godly play. Godly play on his part, because that was pretty dope. That was a pretty good play if he did predict that. I just want a U-turn here, honestly. Because Psychic, there's no way Psychic is knocking out Manectric. Yeah, if we were modest. If we were modest, we would knock him out here. I'm just going to U-turn, though. I have to U-turn here. I have to U-turn. As we get a crit on the incoming Quagsire, I don't know how much that's going to really end up mattering. I'm not too sure, but regardless, we should be able to bring in Haunter here and just Shadow Ball. Nothing on his team is going to safely switch into the Shadow Ball. We are Life Orb max special attack, so if I really wanted to, I guess I could have substituted, which I've been thinking about changing Reflect type to substitute, honestly. Because I really don't see myself needing substitute. And then Hidden Power Ground, I don't know, I don't like Hidden Power Ground either, honestly. With a couple games I've had with this team, I really don't like Hidden Power Ground. I could go Giga Drain actually just for Gastrodon, since this team is kind of annoyed by Gastrodon and Quagsire apparently. Maybe Willow. Sub Willow would actually be kind of cool. Sub Disable maybe, or Sub Pain Split even. Maybe Sub Disable. Sub Disable would be kind of cool, because we can disable Sucker Punch from Shift Tree. Yeah, because if we sub on the Sucker Punch, then they'll just Sucker Punch again and we just disable. Yeah, I'd rather run. I'm going to try out Sub Disable instead. I'm going to try out Sub Disable. So in comes this scary Mon. Is this going to be Scarfed? I'm a little worried that this is Scarfed. As he ends up going for the knockoff. Okay, that's fine with me. That's fine with me, seeing as I should be able to just safely get up rocks here. I don't really care if he wants to bring in Gastrodon or Samurott. I'm not entirely too concerned about them, honestly. As in comes the other douchebag. that's funny. Yeah, Gastrodon, again, is a bit of an issue to this team. I don't want to bring back in Girder, but I need Rhydon. Maybe that is Hidden Power Grouse on Manectric. I'm just overestimating the bulk of Girder. Regardless, we're gonna be forced out here. And honestly, I think I can just click Leaf Storm with Shift Tree. Yeah. So, this seems like a bit of an unnecessary switch-in. Actually, no, he goes straight for the Earth Power. That's even better, because I'm going to click Leaf Storm here, and nothing is going to switch into this. Not even Pinsir. Rocks are up. Leaf Storm is still going to be doing a clean, like, 40%. This is dying. This is dying. Out my face. Out my face, Manectric. Out my face. So down goes the Manectric. In comes the Pinsir. The way he's playing this has me thinking that it's Scarfed. Even if it's not Scarfed, Jolly Pinsir does outspeed. Max speed, plus speed nature, Shift Tree. So I'm going to be forced out regardless. Just back into Rhydon. At this point, with him losing... What? What is that? Hello? What does that even do? Apparently, it crits me. What? Okay, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Yeah, because I can just sack off Rhydon here. I can just sack off Rhydon here and then get a free switch out. And I think the match should be in my favor, although all 6 Mons on one side are not down. I'm playing out this match in my head, and I think we should be able to win here. I can bring in Shift Tree to knock off. Then I can just Sucker Punch the Pinsir, and I should be able to Leaf Storm the Samurott is what I'm thinking. So yeah, knockoff should be able to easily knock this out, even if it doesn't. What? I don't know why he switched this in. And it turned out to be Choice Band. That's actually pretty cool. Okay, I thought like 20% was just like regular damage, because again, Girder's just nice and fat. Nice and fat Girder. But no, that +1 Life Orb Hidden Power Grass still did a lot to me. I think it did like 40%, which is crazy. Maybe I'm underestimating the power of Manectric, the Lord. So good game. So we managed to redeem ourselves from the first battle, but hopefully we can win the next battle. So, okay, so when I see teams like this with like a PUmon and then something like Aggron or Aurorus that aren't normally seen, I get scared because I feel like my opponent is stupid good, and then I have to play accordingly, and then that just makes me nervous as well because I don't want to fuck up, especially while I'm recording. But yeah, he could just lead Aurorus is what I'm thinking. I don't really have a safe switch into this giant. If this is Specs, like this just, like it's just peeking on my team from the corner, trying to see what I have switch-ins for it, which is nothing. Literally nothing. So this is gonna be probably a bit of a tough matchup. But it's a good thing we have sub disable now, because we can hopefully sub on this and we can disable something and then go from there. So I kind of want to lead Girder. He actually has nothing to safely take on Girder as a lead. I'm going to lead Girder. Yeah, Girder should be my absolute perfect lead here, as he does end up leading off with this. Again, I just really want to go for the bulk up. I really just want to bulk up. I really just want to bulk up. How do you spell Aurorus? Let's see. Girder. Mr. Murdurr here. We are rocking 192 attack, not max attack. 192. Mach Punch is a clean to a KO. There is no chance. Yeah, look, as you can see here, even if he specs, there is no way he knocks us out. So again, I should just safely Drain Punch here without any regard of what he wants to do. I could have knocked off, that also crossed my mind, but I really didn't feel the need to do so since it is turn 1. And we're going to be able to chip down Grumpig as is. So I'm just going to safely switch into my Lantern here, as he does end up going for the T-Wave. He has no ground types outside of this Gastrodon. So what I'm thinking about doing is going straight for the Hidden Power Ice. This way we can chip away at something. Doubling wouldn't be a bad play either here. What would he want to, like, would he want to stay in here? I really don't think he's going to want to stay in here. How fast is Timid Aurorus? 236. The reason I don't want to Volt Switch is because of Gastrodon. And the reason I don't want to Hidden Power Grass is because I think he can just get a free switch back into the Aurorus. And then at that point, I just pick a fodder, potentially. Well, no. I could live a Freeze Dry. It's just, I'd rather not take one, I guess, is the thing. So if I Volt Switch here, he brings in Gastrodon, and then I'm in the scenario of what do I switch in to potentially get burned. And Girder is such a huge help in this match that I don't want to risk that. But then if I give him a free switch into Aurorus, he just gets a potential KO. I don't know. I think I can just HP Grass here. Yeah, I'm just going to HP Grass. Ooh, look at that. Nice clean. Clean to a KO. Clean to a KO. And I'm going to Volt Switch here. There is no way he's staying in here. There's no way he's staying in here. For one, he could think we're choiced. For two, we outspeed him. So yeah. Oh, the Volt Switches. The Volt Switches are nice. Is this the moment of truth? Can we bring in Haunter to substitute disable this and be behind a sub? Is what I'm thinking about doing now. Alternatively, I can bring in Girder to just knock off the incoming Grumpig. Haunter, I want to say, is not the best switch in right now, because we still need Haunter. Haunter can take on Audino, it can take on Grumpig. If this is not Rock Polish Aggron, we can take that on, and we can outspeed everything else. So I could probably just bring in Girder is what I'm thinking. Yeah, I think I'm gonna bring in Girder here, because if this is Mega Audino, then Haunter does just pretty much rip his team apart mid to late game, and we're still fairly early on in this match. So I'm just gonna go for the knockoff here. If he stays in, that's a pretty good play on his part, because the Drain Punch is just so obvious. It's so obvious. Yeah, that he has the switch, as it just drops. This is literally his only switch into this Girder, and it just died. So that's another reason I didn't want to go into Haunter, because I knew that I would be able to just clean knock out Grumpig. or most likely just knock off whatever else came in. As in comes the Audino. This could easily just be Mega Audino, and he could just Mega here, which would actually be a little bit scary. I really don't have anything to safely take this on. What would he do here? Would he Calm Mind? Maybe Dazzling Gleam right away? Haunter is a pretty aggressive switch in. What? Hello? Okay, so he's back. And I'm gonna switch right into Haunter. As he Megas and goes for the Dazzling Gleam. Doesn't do too much damage to us, which is really nice. Like nothing switches into a Sludge Bomb. I'm just Sludge Bombing. Okay, so here I could substitute actually and just Shadow Ball. Or I could just Shadow Ball in general. I'm Shadow Ball, expecting him to bring in the Aggron. Yeah, so this is gonna be, that just dies. That is just gonna die. Please don't be cussed off, as luckily it is not cussed off, and down it goes. In comes the Shiftry. I really want to substitute. I really want to substitute on this. I don't have a safe switch into this at all. It's really a 50-50 of do I disable or do I substitute. I'm gonna sub. Oh no! Oh, he missed Leaf Storm! That's actually pretty huge. It's actually pretty huge. So I'm gonna predict him the Sucker Punch here, and I'm gonna go for disable. Yeah, so this way we are guaranteed faster than him the following turn, and nothing is switching into a Sludge Bomb. Yeah, there was nothing he could do at that point because Sludge Bomb destroys this, Shadow Ball destroys this, Shadow Ball destroys this, and Sludge Bomb destroys this. At this point in the match, basically, he has to pick something to just get to a KO'd, or he could try to pivot around me Sludge Bombing and Shadow Balling. But at that point, his team's gonna be weakened to where the rest of my team can just kind of pick him off. So I think we are gonna go get one more battle. I don't know how to English. Alright guys, so we got the last battle here, and hopefully we can end it off on a W. I'm still kind of hung up on that battle that we lost. I was thinking about about what I could have maybe done differently. I don't know. I find it pointless, I guess, to kind of just be hung up on a battle, but I don't know. I'll get over it after this match, or once I get into this match. But yeah, Lipard is terrifying. I don't like Lipard. Lipard is something that I've actually kind of been wanting to use more. I remember I did do a PS Live with it, but lately teams I've been trying out are weak to Lipard in general. Not Shiftry, just Lipard, which just, I don't know, maybe it's just my teams, because this team looks like it could get wrecked by Choice Band of Lipard actually. Anyways, yeah, Lipard's an issue actually, holy crap. I need to get rid of Mesprit if I want to be able to sweep with Girder. Charizard could be a bit of an issue if I don't get up rocks, so I'm going to have to watch out for that. Looking at leads, he could lead Dusclops, not Dusclops, what is this thing called? Claydol. He could lead Claydol. Again, Lipard honestly isn't a bad lead for him at all, which is why I don't want to lead Mesprit. Mesprit as a lead would actually be a little bit bad for me. Maybe Girder? I could see Girder being a pretty decent lead here. Yeah, because we can knock this off, we can Drain Punch this, knock this off, Drain Punch this, switch out on this. So yeah, I think I'm going to lead with Murdurr the Girder. Murdurr hasn't done any murdering yet, unfortunately. So I could go straight for the Mach Punch. That would be a nice bit of chip damage off on this Lipard. The only problem with that is that he would then just get a free switch into either Mesprit or the Claydol, which I don't want to allow him to do. So he's going to go for the Fake Out, just trying to get off a little bit of chip damage on us, as he's going to stay in. Oh, so he's, okay. So down goes the giant threat to our team, which is actually really great because I was more worried about Lipard than I am of Charizard, because we do have AV Lantern here. So in comes this Mesprit. What would he want to do? He's probably just going to get a Brox here is what I'm thinking. So I'm going to switch in the Rhydon to hopefully be able to get up my rocks, as he does end up getting up his rocks. So if he has Energy Ball, we should be able to chew one. I really hope he doesn't have Energy Ball, because his team does look kind of weak to Gastrodon, as Psychic is going to be doing 0 to us. I could go straight for the Mega Horn, which is what I'm going to do just to be able to kind of chip away at this Mesprit, because this thing at full HP is kind of an issue. Oh, my lord. That's a 2AK. Jesus, that does so much damage. I was not expecting that to do so much. Good lord. Okay. So knowing my luck, Rock Blast won't knock him out here. I don't want to bring in Shiftry. Wait, can I bring in Shiftry actually? I could bring in Shiftry now that I think about it. What do I need Rhydon for? Rhydon just gets a Brox. Although rocks are useful for the Charizard, and I can get rocks up against Claydol again potentially, or even the Regirock. Yeah, see, I don't want to bring in Shiftry because he could just U-turn. And I don't want Lantern to get any more weakened than he already is. I don't know. I think I just have to stay in here. I think I'm going to stay in here and Rock Blast instead. No, Mega Horn. Mega Horn is still a safe play. Yeah, this way. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Because for some reason I thought that maybe he would want to bring in Charizard on the Mega Horn, but I was like, that's really risky and unnecessary. So, very fast-paced match. We are up 6-4, although Rhydon is practically down at this point. Claydol could just come in here and potentially spin, which would be a little bit suckish. Hariyama is probably just gonna pick me off with knockoff or bullet punch. So I'm just gonna leave in Rhydon here, as he turns out to have leftovers. What? Why do you have leftovers? Hello? Okay. I'm not sure why he's got leftovers. But I want to bring in Mesprit here. The only problem with Mesprit is if I bring in Mesprit, he could just knock off. If I lock myself into the Psychic, or if I U-turn, and if I lock myself in the Psychic, he just gets a free switch into the Claydol. Oh, that would be a little bit problematic. He's got a weird team composition, which I'm trying to figure out like what to do against it. Because I think it's been like about a week since I played NU, but I still remember just about everything about it. So I'm not entirely too worried here. It's just trying to figure out what the correct play can be. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's either Mesprit or Girder. I think I may risk bringing in Mesprit to U-turn. I think I may risk that. Because he shouldn't want to stay in on this Psychic. Or he stays in on the Psychic, as he's going to be able to knock off Girder. Yeah, this is what I was kind of worried about. So I'm going to Drain Punch here. We can chew one close combat from this range, I want to say. We should be able to chew one close combat from this range. As we do, please don't. Yes! We don't get paralyzed. Look at that. He did like 2% in the end. So Mach Punch should be able to pick him off here. As long as we don't get paralyzed, Mach Punch should be able to pick him off here. As luckily we don't get fully parried and we're able to knock him out. So down goes the Hariyama, which is really great. But in comes the Claydol now, which is what I was a little worried about. I am gonna go straight for knockoff. Yeah, I'm just gonna go straight for the knockoff. Oh, what? That did so much damage. Good lord. Will Mach Punch knock us out? Oh, down it goes. Down it goes. So I'm not sure why he didn't spin there. I guess maybe thinking I would switch right into Haunter. That's kind of understandable, but at the same time, he could have just gone for the Psychic type move. As in comes this terrifying Charizard. Okay, so he is special. I was a little worried that he could maybe be Swords Dance. That actually would have been a little bit scary to deal with, as I should be able to live anything that he wants to go for here, and then in return, Scald will be able to knock him out, unless he flinches me like 5 times in a row, which actually would kind of suck. So, down goes the Charizard, and I think at this point the match is pretty much over. Yeah, there's nothing that Regirock can do against the last 4 Mons of my team. And I should be able to just leave in Lantern here to just spam Scald until he knocks me out if we aren't able to knock him out. As we get a burn and he's gonna explode and we live! And that is going to be the final battle, guys. Hopefully y'all did enjoy the live. yeah, what did we go? I think we went like 3-1, if I'm not mistaken. I'll leave a link to the paste bin down in the description with the changes. I do kind of like sub disable over hidden power, ground, and reflect type. Another option would be sub Will-O-Wisp without life orb, maybe leftovers over life orb. That would be kind of good as well. But yeah, unfortunately, I really wanted to sweep with Girder. I really wanted to put in work with Girder, but he didn't really get to do anything in this battle. And yeah, hopefully you guys did enjoy the live, and if you did, then you know what to do. Make sure to go check out my previous 2 uploads, which will be at the end of the video. And just, yeah, thank you all for watching, guys. Another upload should be going up tomorrow, most likely. I'm gonna try and have face cam for that, but again, my freaking OBS has been fecking up, so I'm gonna try and mess around with that today if I can have some time. Just I have a lot of things going on, but just yeah, I'm gonna try my best to work on that and get other stuff done. And just I'm waving my arms around like you guys can see me for some reason. I'm gone. Later, everybody. Thank you all for watching.
Tied in the knot, and this hinders me from crying a lot. This causing me to show no emotion. But when I said I cared, I wasn't joking. But I guess it's too late for me to become broken. For now, I'm living with no more pain, tears of hoping. I'm just coasting. Yeah, I said I'm coasting. No more pain, tears, and hoping. For real.